All right, let's talk about it. That time after a fertility treatment. It's just this incredible mix of hope and anxiety, isn't it? You're constantly checking in with your body, looking for any little signal, any clue. Well, today we're going to try and decode those signals. We're going to focus on the 4 key signs that might just point to success after a trigger shot.
If you're in that waiting period right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single little twinge or new feeling just sends your mind racing, right? Is this it? Is this what I think it is? It's this whirlwind of hope and uncertainty, but you're looking for some clarity, and that's why you're here. So let's get right into it. So first, just a super quick recap on what the trigger shot actually is. It's a really important step in a lot of fertility treatments. Basically, it's an injection with a hormone called HCG. Think of it like a final go signal for the ovaries, telling them to release a mature egg. It's all about perfect timing to give you the best possible chance of conception. And honestly, knowing this is super important for understanding the signs we're about to talk about. Okay, so this is where things get a little tricky, a little confusing. The hormone that's in the trigger shot, that HCG, is the exact same hormone your body starts making on its own during early pregnancy. See the problem? This overlap makes it a real puzzle. It's tough to figure out if what you're feeling is just a side effect of the shot or, a real sign that it worked. So, that's the big question we're going to tackle today. How can you possibly tell the difference? Well, the good news is, the answer usually boils down to 2 simple things: timing and how long the feeling lasts. So let's jump in and break down that very first potential sign. All right, sign number 1, that wave of nausea. A lot of people feel this one. And yeah, it's the classic textbook early pregnancy symptom, but, and this is a big but, it can also be a side effect from the shot itself. You know the feeling, that kind of queasy stomach, maybe certain foods suddenly seem totally gross. It often hits you hardest in the morning. And you'll probably start noticing this about 1 to 2 weeks after the shot, right when your hormone levels are really starting to do their thing. Okay, so here's the real detective work. How do you tell them apart? Nausea from the trigger shot, that's usually pretty temporary. It kind of fades away as the medication works its way out of your system. But if that queasiness just hangs around for more than a week, and maybe even feels like it's getting a little more intense, well, that is a huge clue that your body might be making its own hormones now. And that's a really, really hopeful sign. Okay, let's move on to sign number 2. This one is all about a new kind of sensitivity, specifically in your chest. And this one can pop up pretty quickly, maybe even just 3 to 5 days after your shot. It might feel like a little bit of swelling, or maybe things are just tender to the touch. It's all because that initial surge of hormones is increasing blood flow to that area. And here we go again. The big clue is how long it lasts. If it's just from the shot, that tenderness will fade out. But if it sticks around and maybe even gets a bit more noticeable over time, that's a much stronger sign that your body has taken over and is producing its own hormones, getting ready for what could be happening next. Now for sign number 3. This one is so easy to just brush off as I'm just tired, but it's a very real thing. We're talking about a deep, deep fatigue that's on a whole other level than just being tired from a long day. Yeah, this is not just I could use a nap. This is an overwhelming I need to sleep right now kind of feeling. It usually shows up about a week after the shot, and it makes sense, right? Your body is working overtime, putting a ton of energy into creating the perfect environment. It's like your body is running a marathon you don't even see, and all that work just zaps your energy. So this timeline is super helpful for figuring it out. Look, a little bit of fatigue right after the shot, around day 3 to 5, totally normal. Probably just the medication. But the real window to pay attention to is after that first week. If you get to day 7, day 10, and you're still feeling that exhaustion, or it's even getting worse, especially as you get closer to that 2-week mark, that is a very, very significant sign of some major hormonal stuff happening. So those first 3 signs, nausea, tenderness, fatigue, they're all really good clues. But, they're also a little subjective. The 4th and final sign we're going to talk about, though, this one is the big one. It's the most direct, clear-cut indicator you can get. It all comes down to that magic number 14. That whole 2-week wait thing isn't just a random number someone made up. There's a reason for it. It's how long it takes for the hormones from the shot to completely leave your system and for your body to start producing enough of its own hormones to send a really clear signal. And that crystal clear signal is a missed period.
It's the strongest sign, hands down, because it's a direct result of successful implantation. See, when a fertilized egg implants into the uterine wall, it's like a switch flips. The body gets the memo to keep pumping out those pregnancy hormones, which in turn tells the uterine lining to stay put, and that stops your period from happening. When you have this, especially on top of some of the other signs, well, it's the clearest message you can get.
Okay, so you've been listening to your body, maybe you're noticing some of these signs, and you've made it past that 14-day mark. So what now? First of all, this is a time to be really, really gentle with yourself. Let's just walk through the next few steps together.
The absolute number one thing here is patience. I know, it's the hardest part. Just keep observing your body and really try to keep your stress levels down because stress can actually mess with your cycle. It's also a great idea to wait a few days after your period was supposed to start before you take a home test. That just gives your hormone levels time to get high enough for the test to be accurate. And then no matter what that little test says, the final, most important step is always to check in with your doctor. They can give you the confirmation you need and help you figure out what comes next.
You know, this whole thing is so much more than just a medical process, isn't it? It's a deeply personal journey. Whether you're trying to figure out if that queasy feeling means something or just counting down the days, you are learning to listen to your body in a way you never have before. It really is a journey of hope, of patience, and just incredible strength. Thanks so much for spending this time with me.